A look now at how a nation can actually be changed for the better after a monstrous crime. Last December, India was shaken to its social foundations by the brutal gang rape and killing of a 23-year-old woman on a bus ride home from the movies. Waves of protests erupted nationwide over this crime and the culture of violence against women in general in India, and the authorities' failure to do anything about it. Tonight, we examine the lessons learned 1 year later and the work still to be done. For the young woman's parents, the pain is still unbearable. Her mother spoke to CNN's Sumnima Udas to talk about her daughter and that fateful night.
She was born and brought up in Delhi. She was like any other regular girl, very sensible and intelligent, right from childhood. She was passionate about studying, wouldn't miss even a day at school, even if we asked her to.
But the night of December 16th, 2012 would change everything. Moments after the young woman and her friend had boarded the bus, the 5 male passengers already on board dragged her to the back of the bus. Her friend was badly beaten. She was gang raped. The men took turns, even violating her with an iron rod, while the bus drove around the city for almost an hour. Then they were dumped by the side of the road, left for dead.
The atrocious, unbelievable injuries what she had sustained, we have never seen before. In my almost 40-year career, I have never witnessed such a horrific brutality by human beings.
We got a call from someone saying our daughter was injured and admitted in the hospital. We were shocked to see our daughter's state. What was in front of our eyes was hard to even imagine. She told me they beat her badly. What could she say? Even I didn't have the courage to ask her anything. Even in so much pain, she would keep saying, "Don't worry, I'm doing better."
But she was slowly losing the fight. The injuries were so severe, some internal organs had to be removed. She died a few weeks later in a Singapore hospital.
All of us were standing right next to her when she took her last breath. The doctors came to us and said, "Sorry, there's nothing we can do now." That's when we realized our daughter was no more.
It is a truly horrifying story, and the whole documentary airs this weekend on CNN. And you can see why it caused such a national convulsion. The 4 men who raped her were sentenced to hang, a clear sign that the government was taking this case seriously. Initially skeptical, Kiran Bedi, who's India's first and highest-ranking female police officer, joining me now from Delhi, tells me that this terrible crime has in fact started much-needed change there. Kiran Bedi, welcome back to the program.
Thank you, Christiane.
Have things moved since last year? Has this changed society?
That incident of ghastly, brutal gang rape of last year, which happened on December the 16th, has actually shaken every aspect of Indian society. It's made the criminal justice system move, whether it's the policing, whether it's the prosecution, whether it's the judiciary, even the legislature. A slow legislator, which was not legislating for years on toughening up the rape laws, has done it by an ordinance. And then a legally illiterate country almost, because the laws are known by and large to the educated or those who've gone to a law school or somehow aware. But mass literacy has happened through media awareness because of presenting the news, debating them regularly. And the best is the men have taken to the streets for causes concerning women. So while women, of course, were walking the streets for causes, but men have joined in because it's become a common cause. Of course, it's a beginning of a long chain, but the point is, it's a beginning very well made.
Well, you sound so optimistic, and it's really, really great to hear this, because it was a terrible situation with women constantly complaining that they were never taken seriously when they even dared to report these cases. Would you say that that has also changed, that the police are now actually taking these reports of rape and sexual assault seriously?
That is the change. Now the cops who got alerted or got retrained or somehow briefed or got sensitized, they are responding better. But there is a long way to go. India has a large rural policing belt as well. So therefore, and the resources are not adequate in the rural police stations. But then there are not many women who also report there. But the fact is, policing has also got galvanized, sensitized, because there's a lot of naming and shaming happening. So therefore, the people are now afraid of getting named and shamed. So I think it's even shaken them up. And after all, they're also aware of what is going around the media. So I think that media is driving the change along with people's unifying.
So you would say that quite a lot of this change has been because the media has kept a very, very strong eye on it and keeps reporting it.
That's right. They've been analyzing and spreading a lot of awareness. Every evening, it's almost like a crime debate. And any incident happening in any part of India, whether it's the northeast or it's the west, if the case is picked up, it is highlighted. And then the questions are asked: what is the political system doing, or how is the criminal justice system responding? So I think it's putting everybody on alert. In fact, they are all on notice. But the point only, Christian, is that the things are still happening. While things are changing, still they are happening. So you still have a large misogynist population which has grown up in a negative mindset. So there is a fear and yet taking chances. So I think it's a big battle. While there's a change, there's still the past becoming the present, which is not changing. So it's a battle. In fact, it's still a battle between for women to get their human right to security, and also face the men who refuse to change or still think women are for entertainment and it's a right to violate their bodies.
Let me ask you this. You talk about name and shame and horrible things still happening. One of those horrible things is the so-called euphemistically termed two-finger test, where police used to violate girls and women complaining as a way of testing whether in fact they had been raped. Is that still going on?
That too has come under very severe criticism. I don't think that's going on anymore. It cannot be. Do you know the definition of rape has expanded? That now it has gone that minutely that if any part of man's body violates a woman's body, it is coming under the rape. And such an act committed by somebody who has an authority on her, like an employer or etc., it's coming under the term of rape. A process of change has begun, but what is yet to happen is truly a tandem, an alignment, a partnership between the community as far as prevention is concerned and response as well as the criminal justice system is concerned.
Kiran Bedi, thank you so much for joining me. So much has happened and so much still to be done. Really interesting to get your insights on this.
Thank you.